Well, hello again. I am Ligma69, and this is episode 3 of me making my top-down shooter, shoot 'em all, whatever. And this time, we're going to have a few objectives, so we are going to try to implement proper enemy functionality in some basic levels. So what I want to achieve is an enemy that, first of all, has a sprite. So I think the first thing we might do is draw a sprite for our enemy. We won't have animations for now, but we'll have an enemy with a sprite. And then we'll proceed with adding in some other functionality. So I want to first of all make it so that the enemy can in some manner move. So I want the enemies to run towards the player for now. And then we should implement some kind of damage. Most likely with some enemies it'll be melee damage, so they won't like shoot you, but I also might look into making like enemy guns as well. But I think for this episode we'll just have melee damage. So we'll have to add in like health to the actual character as well, and the methods for that to be damaged. I am wondering if my stream is working out alright. Anyways, let's look at how it is currently. So first of all, here is the current state. So we have in a very small size our main like character. You can see it's not too big, but we can shoot the gun. We can dash, and you can also rotate like what direction the knife goes. So you can see now it's that and now it's that. So you can change that with tab, and for now that's the functionality. Also, the knife thing does damage the object here, which is like our test enemy. So we can use that to kill it into strikes. And the gun also damages it at 20 damage per block. So that's how that works. And with that, I think we are ready to look into other things. So let's go ahead and start making our enemy spread. And for now, we'll do something very basic again. Uh, for purposes of not making too much of a mess. It doesn't necessarily have to be human either. I think it's better if it's not like human character, or like even humanoid character. So maybe like I can make like a mini chicken thing. That's one option. Like, or like something like that. Very creepy, but no. For now, we'll have to figure it out. I think this is not the kind of shape I want to go for. I want to go for something that's not human, but I'm not sure what. Perhaps like, yeah, this could work. Yeah, I think that's an acceptable entity for our enemy. For now, this nothing of this is like final. This is just there to be there. In all reality, but for now, I think we can go with some variation of this. So let's see how to actually position things. I think that would, yeah, I think having this like be up here and have the ice be up there looks a lot better. How about if the ice were like a bit further out? Would that work out? No, not as well. I don't like that as much. And I guess they could like go and be a bit wider like that. Yeah, just trying to figure out the styling I want to go with. But for now, I mean that's one look. I don't think it's bad, but I do think I prefer this. And then we just color things. Like, question is, what color do we make this? I guess we can maybe go with like a green. We won't make it complicated at this stage. I want to have a sprite for it so it doesn't look like completely like ugly as shit. But I'll probably remake all of the sprites at the very end and also like add in sounds and shit. I guess like a not like a dark purple could also work. What's our like what does our main character look like? Yeah, I think this could work. As like a nice contrasty or like not contrasty at all, but as a nice enemy sprite. Then we need to make you 500% size and let's name this like enemy dot p. Well, we don't want that in PNG separately. Then we'll change directory. We can go directly to the game. Now we can save a bit of time by doing that here. And then we just like set that. Oh yeah, also I should crop it and export. So I think it should now be exported as the actual file name that it should be having. And with that, we should now have in the art folder an enemy.png. So let's go back to here. Let's change this to enemy.png. Oh yeah, we don't need this to be PNG, just enemy. Then sprite, let's change the type of this to an animated sprite because we will like implement animations down the line. So where is the change node type? That should change type. Then we just select animated sprite. And then animation new sprite frames. And now we should be able to go here and drop in the enemy.png. Then we just adjust the collision shape so it's not oversized. It doesn't need to be too specific at this stage, but it should resemble the character so it doesn't look completely wrong. So now we should have like that sprite as our enemy. And we do. Now, of course, size will have to be adjusted because it is currently far too big. So let's make it like half of what it is. And let's check again. Yeah, we'll have a whole lot of them, so I think like a small size like this, like the similar to character, is good. Of course, we'll probably make everything bigger than this at some point, but it's good enough testing size. And the next, we'll make this damn thing move, I guess. So first of all, it shouldn't collide with our actual character, but we should be able to like knife it. And we can. Perfect. So I guess we go and I guess we rename that. I guess we need to go back to the here. Can we like rename it straight from here? No. But I think we can just rename the file and then do changes. So we can rename you to enemy.gd. Yeah, it works still. So we just renamed the file and that does not seem to be causing any problems. So we'll proceed with figuring out some movement mechanics. So I guess the first thing is, yeah, physics process. Then velocity equals to delta, let's say just multiplied by some value. Move and we can try this for now. Yeah, so there's no velocity. So I think we don't need physics process, just process. And I think there's actually you might want to make your character sprite. So let's change the type and make this into a character sprite. I think that might help us because now we can actually just use similar code to what we use for our like actual character. So this shouldn't affect, first of all, let's just check it doesn't affect anything. it does affect some things. So for some reason the HP doesn't work now. That's a problem. Why though? Let's try to seeing if this even runs when it's hit. So print DMG. Oh yeah, and we need to do this as SDR. Let's check if it's even running this. That's the first step. Because for some reason this seems to have... Oh yeah, because this is broken. That makes sense. But let's make... Oh yeah, this is completely broken. That's why... Well, it's an easy fix. I just forget these small things and then I realize it's wrong and then I fix them. Yeah, it works. As intended. And yeah, the knifing works as well. So yeah, that's not the problem. It's just the problem is that I had the code broken. Let's continue with the hitbox. Not hitbox. Func physics process. So now we can actually just set velocity equals to delta times, let's say 200. And oh yeah, then also we should do vector 2. Let's make it move like 150. It's like 150, like just like check it can move. Then move and slide. And now it should just kind of move, and we can see it is slowly moving. Of course, damage and stuff should still be working. So for now, of course, no animation, there's nothing, so it looks ugly as shit. And it's moving at a really bad speed as well. So let's make this a bit bigger. So let's say like 450, that should speed it up a decent lot. Yeah, no, it's still not very fast. I guess we can try to like make it move. Yeah, here we go. So now we can see it's actually like moving properly. And we can kill it like that. Yeah, we also have to adjust like the whole... So it does like the whole dashing thing a bit more again and not being able to shoot while dashing and so on. But that's again later plans. For now it can move in some direction. So let's... I think we don't even need... I think delta is just breaking things. Yeah, there we go. Because I think move and slide already accommodates for that. So this gets a more reasonable moving speed. Now we just need to direct it towards the player. So let's actually take it. So yeah, we just check like... I didn't have direction. So our direction equals to... I guess we can just like go, okay, you go towards the character, so get angle 2, and then we can't do this one because we can't find the character this way. So I think we need to actually move this into... I think we need like a main scene script finally, so let's make that. Yeah, so create. Here we go. So first of all, I guess we need to like... Okay, what's in our main scene? Is there like even... Okay, it's called... It's not called that. Dumb little thing. Okay, let's go and find it here and let's rename it. Because I don't want it called... I don't care. It needs to be changed, but it's not changing. So let's see, can we rename it here? It's very annoying that I can't just like rename it. It'll just rename it everywhere. I have to like go around and mess with it, but... And that changed it. Okay, so that should be working now. So for now, we'll just work with this like stock enemy. We won't mess with So for now, I think we can just like not have it there because this should allow us to actually deal, like get the angle of the character and stuff like that. Yeah, so first of all, if enemy equals to null, then we run this. And I think now we can actually just like var direction equals to enemy dot get angle to, and then we can check on our character. So so now we can do direction. Actually, I think that's just the angle, so that does not work. Let me dot get global transform minus. I think this. I don't remember if this is exactly what we need, but we'll find out. Uh, direction times 200. Let's try this. No. Okay, let's try to find a different game because I believe I have a command that does exactly what I need in regards to finding that direction. So let's go launch a different game and use that to check the angle. So I think Shell Jump Go should have a command a bit like that in it. Somewhere. I don't know where it is though, so that's the problematic part. I think it's in character, in just like moving direction. No, that's, oh yeah, I can do global position that acts on the actual sprites of them. That should work. Get global position minus. I wonder if I can get global position. I wonder if this is valid for these. I might have to do it for the sprites inside of them, but that should be easy enough to change. Oh yeah, that does not work. Okay, so yeah, that's the opposite way. So I think we need to like add this in, then do minus, and then this. Yeah. So now it will like follow our character, which is the behavior we want to have, which is good. Of course, the speed and stuff has to be adjusted, so it seems it's like changing that based on how far it is, which makes sense because direction. So, but this is easy enough to make like stable. We can use normalized, which will set it to like be 1 and 1. So it won't alter the speed anymore at all. And we might not actually implement some changing, but if I do, I want it to be controlled, and it's not controlled if it just like goes automatically based on the distance because I set it that way. Yeah, we can see it's following us very slowly, but it is following us. So that's one behavior that is finished. Next, we'll have to figure out like doing damage because for now it doesn't actually do anything, and then it gets glitched out when it's close to us, which we also have to like fix. So it doesn't. It seems to be getting stuck near us at this angle, which is not ideal. But for now, I think it just has to do with how this angle thing works. I think we can do like a thing where if it hits your like character, it will just like disappear and then just be done. So if enemy dot get last slide collision dot why? I know you want that. I don't give a shit. I need to give it you dot. I think whatever. Let's try it. This should not work, but this is very annoying though. I'm trying. I think I need to add in like a I think I need to add in like a thing to make it recognize that it's like the item, and yeah, it doesn't do that. The problem is this is editor is not paying me. Get collider. I think that might this is pure memory though, so I could be completely wrong. There is no get collider. So let's try to actually just like print this and let's see what we get. Because that's basically what we want to do. Or actually what we want to do is we want to implement something similar to the knife, where if it hits something, then that something will take damage. But for now I want to figure out... Oh yeah, for now it can't even collide with it. That's why it's failing. So I think what we can do is we can just like set, okay, you can collide with it. So for now your layer is 1, so I think our enemy can like see 1. This will cause us problems because it can't move through us anymore, but it does mean that... And I don't know why we get that broken thing, like it doesn't make any sense. For whatever reason, recognizing our character is there. Oh, I mean, this makes sense. Okay, so we need to move the point here with... We need to move this all to be centered with that, which makes a lot of sense. And should have been obvious. Okay, that's good enough. So now it's not doing that whole thing, it's just going to like actually come to our character and not get glitched out somewhere else. But now it can collide, which is good. And our actual bullets and stuff like and knives and stuff like that do work. So the next question is just how do I make it not be a problem? We might have to change this as well to be like the area 2D that the knife is, because that would allow us to prevent the collision. But I think actually collision is fine. Like, let's say that if dot we still can't do that equals to null, then get why is it like so unwilling to give me any autofilling anymore? Get I think that doesn't work. Why is that? Yeah. Yeah, I think we can. Oh yeah. And there is not null. Okay, so it's not that the command there is wrong, it's just like this is stupid because I forgot to add in a check for the character and now our character is gone. So that's good. And then we can copy the code from here. So I think we can change. We want to change from move and slide into this. Or actually, we can just run this. So if the collider is hit, then we can if collider dot has method hit hit, then we say, okay, we run this dot hit. And now I think, and then let's define a factor like enemy enemy.dmg. And then let's go to our enemy and let's just define, okay, var dmg equals to, let's say like 5. No, let's just say for now, like a big value. So they'll also kill us with 2. Then we'll do a variable health. Var health is 100. I think we just like copy all of this. So if we are hit, then we just like get rid of ourselves. I think we just throw this on the bottom. And then we're good. So now we are actually losing the health from the enemy. But it killed us immediately, which is not ideal. But I think we can also, I think that has some relevance to it's just taking multiple hit times because we're not like double checking that. So we can apply a similar method to how the knife works. So we can go to our, where is our enemy? Here we go. So first of all, in this instance, it's 1. So we'll set it to be false for our character. So for now, we shouldn't die. We should just take 1 hit and nothing more should happen. Yes, so nothing more actually does happen, and that is ideal. So now we need to figure out how do we make this happen again. And I think the answer is simple. Get collision layer value 1. So we just like toggle that, I guess. No, that doesn't work. But it makes sense it doesn't work. So we set it to false there. I think we need to make like a timer again or some other solution. How do I want to actually make this work? Timer is one solution. Another solution is we like check it. Okay, it's leaving. But then again, I don't think I want to do that. I think we want like a timer where it's like between certain intervals. It will allow that to happen again. So I think what we can do is we can add in like we can add in a timer. In this case, I think just like creating a timer might be sufficient because of how this whole thing functions. I am not sure either. Maybe we should just make another timer, so just like for consistency's sake. So let's say our enemy has or I guess our character, yeah, let's say our enemy has like an attack timer. And well, we for now it's fun to find a timer. Then let's rename this to attack or like timeout. I guess like cooldown. So our enemy will have a short cooldown to their attack, so it doesn't just insta kill us, regardless of the damage they do. Instead, they do like damage like every 1 second or something, or like every 2. I guess we can make it even bigger. Let's make it like 2 seconds for now. I think that's a fair like amount for our testing scenarios. Then we just check inside of. So first of all, we have it here. So I guess like. So first of all, I think we should do ready. So ready. Here. So this we just use to okay, look, enemy dot oh no, not dot slash cooldown. I don't know why the autofill is broken. Doesn't matter too much. Dot start. Oh yeah, also we need to like actually say it's a function. I guess that's why it's giving us like any autofill either because it's broken in syntax. So now we should have that. So then we can go to here, blah blah, not that it's relevant. I guess like if these are both null, it doesn't matter anymore. So if enemy says cooldown dot is stopped, so only if it's stopped, we can add in the let's go to here. Then we can do no, but it want to be enemy based, not like function based. So we don't do this here. Instead, we set it elsewhere. So we'll set it inside of enemy. So in here we'll do enemy dot set why is it so broken? I don't understand. Oh yeah, and the enemy's masking is 1, right? So we just set you to mask is 1 to false. So this should now be it should have broken our movement for some reason. Oh yeah, because of this. Let's comment this out for now and just test what we have above. Expected 1 arguments. What? Yeah, it would help. It would really help if I could like. Oh yeah, I need to set the value. Here we go. If the fucking autofill wasn't a piece of shit. Yeah, so it doesn't kill us now. But if you comment this out, it should kill us. That just means it should work. Yeah, so it does delete that. So that works. Then if the timer is stopped, then we can set this one to true and restart the timer. And so we can do enemy slash cooldown dot start. And now it should not kill us immediately, but it should in 2 seconds. It does not. So for whatever reason that doesn't work correctly. I guess it's like if neither of them is I don't know. For now, our character shouldn't have any of that. Our main shouldn't have anything too troublesome. Let's wonder why it's broken. Okay, let's say we assume we don't kill our enemy and we just run this here. Yeah, that doesn't help. So let's try just like printing something. Right. So yeah, for whatever reason, it's not like starting. Which is a problem. Let's try func init instead. Oh yeah, the timer. Okay. Let's go back here. What are we doing with the timers? I'm too like oh no, I have that here even. What have I done with my timers? No, we are setting it to just like do the start. I don't think I have any like So why does this not work? We are running like the same. Oh no, it fails now because okay, so it does work. I think if let me it's not null, then we do this. I think that should fix this issue. Yeah, so we have reached that point once, but it's not running it again, which is still an issue. So we can get it to run once, but we cannot get it to run twice. And that I don't know. Why does it not stop? But I think the ready function, I like using this one more. But it doesn't do it. So init starts that, but it shouldn't need init. Okay, let's change this from here to, let's say, func. We call it here. So, okay, cooldown dot start. And then let's check. Yeah, so for some reason it's not really running things properly. Yeah, that's insignificant for now. So it's not even running here. Ever. The thing is, the timer should be running and it should not be having such issues. And yet it's not like running. Yeah, it never stops. It never stops. So for some reason, it's just not stopping, which means it's probably not started. Oh, yeah. Fuck, I'm dumb. We need to set that to equals true. I think that will... No, it won't. Equals to false. Let's just see what happens if we set this to false. Oh, it will run constantly. So for whatever reason, it keeps on restarting that, which is not ideal. So, or that keeps on running it. It should, like, after it's over, so it should every 2 seconds be printing that, but it does not. So now that part isn't broken. If it doesn't run it a second time at all, how that works is a mystery to me. Why does it not do that? If the timer is false, then blah blah blah. Yeah, it runs all of that. So if the timer isn't over, then we do that. Oh yeah, we can just like... Oh yeah, we don't have to like do this pull mask thing. That does not help us. So now we should just die to it. Yeah. We don't need to do that whole thing. If it stopped equals true. This is not functional, but you know. If it stopped equals to fucking false. If dot equals stopped equals to false. So if it's still like, no, if it's equal to true, so if it stopped, then we run these things. And then if it isn't stopped, then we just start the cooldown. Let's check. No, why? So it does get it twice, but for some reason... Oh yeah, we need to run the start here. So... Else, we just don't do shit. I should remove that block entirely, but... So now it just like won't recognize, hey, it can actually be stopped, you know? Like, it doesn't understand that it can end. It just doesn't end. Which makes no sense. But we work with what we have, and for now, that means a broken ass stupid thing that doesn't want to goddamn work. A cooldown that never starts. So it will never start. We have a start, we have... Yeah, it doesn't want to. It doesn't want to. It don't want to. This is beyond dumb. I don't understand why. Like, I'm too stupid, I guess, but for now I had to figure out my way around that. So we are setting the damage. We're starting a cooldown. But why does starting a cooldown? Meaning never ends. Why is it just repeatedly starting it? That doesn't really make any sense to me. Like, it should just stop eventually. It should just, like, stop eventually. But it just doesn't. And that's what's frustrating. Like, here we are starting it, yeah. You know, on the input. But we are, you know, it starts that, but then it stops. If it is stopped, then it turns that. So our cooldown straight up isn't working as intended. Maybe we can add in some other form of delay, but I don't think we can. So for now, it kills us. It does do it, but there's no like break to it, which is a problem. Otherwise, we can start the cooldown, but then it never ends. And it doesn't take the fact that, okay, there can be hits. Which is... I don't know. I don't know how to react to that. It's very frustrating because... like, the thing should just be running. Like, it shouldn't be... like, it should just, like, you know, do it partially. It should not, like, be unable to run the stuff above it when we started below that. And I don't really know how to fix this because we do need a cooldown. We do need to have a cooldown. Like, like, there's no damage, like, functionality here if we don't have a cooldown that works. So the question is, why does it not work? And that's frustrating. Like, we are starting and we're checking, okay, it ends, and it works in the character. It works in keeping this constant process running, and everything else about it does work. But here it doesn't, which I just cannot make sense out of. Why is the timer not working? So let's try moving to a different timer inside the main scene, I guess, and we'll just call you timer. We'll set you 1. And then timer. If timer is stopped. Yeah, it still doesn't like kill me at all. It does not want to work. So it's not the timer itself that's an issue. Does changing this help at all? No, it does not. But... oh, one shot might help. Frustrating. But it seems that works. So I guess that's how we can make that work. So I guess we can go back to our enemy cooldown now and get rid of this because we don't actually need it for anything. I want to use the node inside enemy because I think it's a more natural placement for it. Then we just do the one shot, and now it should be able to damage us into 2-second breaks, and we die. Now we just need to figure on making it like clip inside us, which where I think like doing its an area might help, because that way we can set it to not be a pain. But the problem is, it's damn annoying to do that. But I think that might be the better approach because like I don't want to like be stuck on outside of your character like this. I don't want you to collide with the enemies. I want you to like I want the enemies to like not do that, you know? I wonder what would happen. So that does collide the knife with it, which is cool. But now we have it, it's capable of killing us, it has a cooldown, it has everything we need. And then I like simultaneously kill myself and that enemy. Interesting. So I think we have some physics finally kind of functional in regards to the whole thing with that. There's a whole bunch of errors though, so something is having problems. Oh yeah, we need to like set okay main blah blah blah. Yeah, if it's not null, that's fine. We don't care because we are like going to be recreating them anyways. Like this is not a final solution. I mean, the game still runs perfectly okay, so I'm not worrying about error because it won't be 8%, I think, in the final thing. Oh yeah, I am on Linux as well, using Red Hat. I have been working on that. And it seems to work well enough with Godot. In any case, I'm very happy we figured that one out. So now, let's see, is there anything else I want to do in this episode anymore? We have an enemy sprite, we have enemy movement, we have enemy damage. I guess we can add in like a cooldown for the dash because we have already done a cooldown for our enemy. And I think once we are done with that, we can stop. Or maybe we can make the enemy an area as well to make it follow that nature of things. But let's for now focus on adding in a timer for the dash timer. Oh yeah, we already so we need a different timer. So let's add in another timer. This will be called dash cooldown. Let's move it next to this one. Dash cool down. Let's make it like a few seconds. I think that's and we'll make you one shot as well. Let's make you like 5 seconds in between the dashes. And we can utilize the same code we use here. So first of all, I guess we use it in main, or no, not in main, in character, and we need to find with the dash. So so first of all, if dash cooldown dot is, so if the cooldown is stopped, then we do all of this. And it only runs like all the velocity and dashing and everything. Okay, it's not working though, so for whatever reason the dashing timer is not working. Oh yeah, if we need to equals to true. We need to double check that this is actually using the correct things. And it's still not working. I think we need to like, we might need to actually start it manually this time for What is our enemy? Do we have it like auto start enabled? I don't know, but let's try. Because we should only be running the dash timer if that started. So like the dash timer, that shouldn't happen unless we do this. So now we are like constantly like just like, yeah, but then it breaks. So that's not, the auto start is not solving that issue. So I think we just like, the problem is like, you should be able to like go, but then it should apply cooldown, but it doesn't. Oh, dash, that explains it. No, no, that's not correct. We need to set like, I forgot to actually get it to start. Yeah, so now we actually can't run this for another 5 seconds. Yeah, so it works now. We have gotten a cooldown for the dashing, which is ideal. Then also, I think... I think we can move... We should move this. So I think we might want to assign like some value here, but let's... So I want to make it so that you can't like turn mid-dash or something, because currently you can do that. Like if you run this, you can just like go and then turn during the dash, which is not how I actually want it to behave. I want the dash to be it's kind of a one and go mechanic, or at least I want to control how you can like turn around it and so on a bit more. So let's see. So we're just multiplying our velocity. I think that's good, but we need to like lock in our location. So I think we just like check, okay, if that dash timer dot is stopped equals true. Okay, so if it actually is stopped, like if the timer isn't on, then we set the velocity to that. And that causes us to disappear, which is not how we want it to work. Okay, let's check our... I mean, I guess that's just getting a vector, so... Else... I guess we can just like... Okay, I think there's a better idea. Rather than changing that, we can run it on this and then just make this like a global variable, so we get... And then var input there. And then we just hope that it does not allow us to turn. Now it should not allow us to actually turn like mid. Yeah, it doesn't allow us to turn like mid dashing anymore. So that's how I want this to work. Good. So we made that function work. Good progress. And I think the last thing I'll do for this episode is that I'll make the enemy a not character sprite, which means changing how we move it. But I do have references for how to go about it doing that as well, which I will have to go open up. But I think we want to change your type to an area 2D, because I don't want it to like actually physically, or like I guess is it better if it collides with the character? I don't know. I think that's the main thing. Do we want it to like actually collide with the character? I guess it's better if it collides, so you can actually like hit it that way. So I can actually use your abilities on it. Like, and you can use like you can like run away from it if it hits you. So like you're faster than the NPC currently. I think actually we'll keep it as a, for now, as a recognizable object. And we can also make it so that, actually let's like try to change the, Let's change up a bit. Let's make the damage smaller, but let's make the cooldown like much less than it is, like 0.5. This should create maybe a more like even like health loss process. I mean, it should kill us eventually. Yeah, it just takes a really long time, so let's check set this like 20. Yeah, so it does take its time with that for some reason. Even if we have set the cooldown to be smaller, but I think that's good enough. For now. I'm not going to bother dealing with like the exact situation anymore because I think it is functional and we can modify it as we need to down the line. For now, that's our episode. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be back eventually with the fourth episode. So what we have done today includes we have made an enemy sprite, and we have gotten it to move and to damage the player as well, so you can die to it. You can also kill it, and as before, and everything else. Of course, for now we don't have any endgame screens or anything, but it's progress. And with that, bye.